They are literally telling you what is happening. The financial system is changing as we know it. We are ending a 36-year cycle. After February 20th, 2026, you're going into a new era of finance, a dissolving of old systems and a birth of a new system. And is it by chance that Donald Trump Jr. announced that they're having a private meeting at Mar-Lago with the heavy decision makers in finance for the new system? Trump told you 9 years ago you're going to be on an even playing field monetarily. And yesterday, USAT Tether, which is 90% of the stablecoin market, which uses US treasuries to balance them out one to one, made a massive announcement. They are now live in America. So I'm going to try to simplify it as deep as I can or as easy as I can and help you understand what this means. How does it affect you? So USAT going live in America, which is borderless, peer to peer, a 36-year transition into a new system is massive. It's not by chance that it's launching yesterday. It's not by chance that they're having the meeting on February 18th, 2026, right before February 20th, 2026, an energetic shift from the dissolving of old systems, truth coming to light, decentralization, the people being the bank, the people taking sovereignty of their health, the people taking sovereignty of their spiritual walk. You're not going to stop what's happening. You can protest all day, you can fight back and forth. This is a shift energetically. It's happened over and over and over again. 36 years ago, 1988 to 1990, that's when things really started to get bad. We started to see a big decoupling of productivity versus income. We started to go heavily into a big debt-based society where the elites, the top 10% that own all the markets, became way wealthier. It became completely detached from reality when it comes to money. Everything started to become super expensive, and now we landed and caught the ball with 120% debt to income ratio, $1 trillion in credit card debt, 38 trillion in debt in America. The system can't continue this way. But there's a new system coming in. That's how I make my investments. Not off hype, not off bullshit, off what is actually happening. What is the new infrastructure for the next 100 years? Like, use logic. Do you really think there's going to be cash in the next 100 years? Or even in the next 10 to 20 years? With the advancement of AI technology and how much things have advanced from 20 years ago? No. We're literally living in the Jetsons. There's self-driving cars. Everybody has these Apple watches on there. It's the Jetsons, guys. There's humanoid robots coming out by the back end of this year through Tesla, Elon Musk. Guys, we're living in the Jetsons. I guarantee you, it won't use cash. It won't use an old Swift system. Be fast. Money will move like the speed of light. Billionaires will become trillionaires, millionaires will become billionaires, and being a millionaire will mean nothing. Money will become quantum. Trump told you 9 years ago you're going to be on an even playing field monetarily before you know it. I've been trying to teach you guys from 2020 what this means. So I strategically made my investments and what I believe the new system is going to be, number one. Number two, I make my investments based on beating inflation. Because one thing that's going to happen and become more dramatic is the wealth gap. The 1% will always remain the 1%. Until somebody in the family in the 99% wakes up to how the system actually works. They're just big cycles. You don't need more income. You need to create your income into cash flow. Cash is trash, guys. You're literally storing cash in debt. You get paid in someone else's debt. So you trade labor for debt. Money is completely detached from reality. So what we do is we take our labor that we trade for income, which is debt, we turn our income into cash flow. That could be through more businesses. It could be through dividend stocks that make money while we sleep. Income and cash flow are different. Income, you have to trade labor for. Cash flow, you make without giving up labor. But we take our cash flow and our income from active labor and we move it into assets. Assets that beat inflation. You can decide what that is. Silver's crushing it right now. Gold is crushing it. I crushed it in my digital assets over the past 5 years. Some people did well in NVIDIA. What is your zone of competency? Or study how the 1% get wealthy in the markets. That's offensive. Markets go up, they go down. They collapse, they go up. The wealthy buy when there's blood in the streets, and we sell when there's greed. Do the opposite of the 99%. We're ending a 30-year cycle, 36-year cycle. I'm going to keep saying this. You're going to see how unethical and immoral this system is. You don't have to do anything. It's going to naturally expose itself. What's done in darkness comes to light. So when you're A, your assets are profiting, pull some off the table and go into P, protection. I use cash value life insurance, silver, copper, Berkshire. I'll store my profits in stable coins. And then when the markets come collapsing down and everybody's running from fear, 10, 10, 20, 25 for crypto, I calmly go back in with leverage on the right side of leverage. And the only time I use leverage is by cash flow or by assets that will appreciate to pay off the leverage. And then DR, we de-risk. It's just a cycle, guys. That's all it is. And when you understand the cycle, you become calm. You take the middle ground. You understand this is nothing new under the sun. 50 years Jubilee, the 7-year Shemitah. It's biblical. You reap what you sow. Winter, spring, fall, summer. It's all a cycle, guys. And we're ending a 36-year cycle. The new system is coming in. Centralized banking system to decentralized. You're the bank now. Tether just threw the shots across the bow yesterday. And central banks are like, oh shit. They can actually be their own bank. So pay attention to what is actually happening. Get your blinders on, man. You're being distracted. When they tell you to look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. Spend at least 30 minutes to an hour studying this stuff. Stop mindlessly scrolling. Educate yourself spiritually, physically, and financially. Take sovereignty of your wealth. Don't let another man or woman be responsible for your family's future. Take sovereignty. It's going to be hard. I wish I could tell you to get rich quick. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take you getting your shit together if you had a household. But it will be worth it. So the system is changing. Look completely different after 2030. I hope this information reaches your heart well. And I love you. Warriors, rise. Get your shit together.